that down. Okay. All right. Welcome, everybody. Sorry I'm starting a little bit late this evening. I think I just ended a little bit later than I usually do with work. And then I had to have dinner, and I had a conversation with my wife, and one thing led to another, and here I am, just starting things later than I should be. But it is Monday night. That means it's time for some Merfolk. I'm Joe. For those of you unfamiliar, I think this evening I'm going to be playing some Simic Merfolk. So I'm going to start sort of throwing together a list that seems good to me, and we'll just jam and sort of hope for the best. So what's going on with the metagame? Kind of all over the place. It's been a lot of, like red black prowess / shadow prowess. So we've got the aggressive side of things, where Dismember might be helpful, but also potentially a liability in certain spots in that matchup. Overall pretty good Dismember in that matchup. Then I guess something that I still haven't run into very much at all is all these Charbelcher decks that were supposed to be good, but I think I just ran into it just yesterday for the first time. I was playing Soul Herder and beat it pretty easily. They did nothing in game 1. They kind of got stuck on lands, and then game 2 they got a Charbelcher down, but they needed to untap. And I had like a deputy of detention and just grabbed their Charbelcher, and they pretty much just scooped. So she got the red black. I'm just trying to think about like new hotness in the format right now. There's still a ton of Titan decks all over the place. And the best way for us to combat that, I think, is basically, like dismembering their Dryad. That's kind of like the best we can hope for. If we're playing green and we have like, well, no, don't need green for that. I'm thinking like Ether Gust. A lot of people have been running Ether Gust in the board. I've got 2 currently in this Simic setup. So, all right, let's just start with basics. 18 lands, totally fine. 2 Mutavaults, kind of the sweet spot for me. We've had long conversations in the Discord about how many Mutavaults Simic can support. I think more than 2 is just a little bit greedy, but 2 is just fine. Otherwise, we've got the 4 Sanctums. 1 breeding pool, just checking in. I'm not like trying to really do a deck tech. I'm trying to figure out if this is what I want to run this evening. So I like the Tempo Bears. I might actually want to add more Harbingers. Can see that I have 2 Brazen Borrowers sort of complementing the 2 Harbingers. So could stick with that. I definitely don't want 4 Glass Pools. Could see running 2. I think I could try that this evening. Which case, I think if we keep the curve low, running 18 lands plus the 2 Glass Pools should probably be fine. Because 20 lands in Simic should be totally okay. 3 Spreading Seas, that's fine. And then, yeah, I guess it's just down to the flex slots. Like, do I want to run the main deck Dismembers or run more Harbingers? Harbinger is going to be good against those aggressive decks, so I feel like I can start by moving the Dismembers to the sideboard. I think I want to go up on the Harbingers here. And if any of you guys are here with me, hey, Contra, welcome, and thanks for joining me. And if you have any suggestions based on meta observations, totally happy to hear the suggestions. So what did I just do? Oh, well, I took out 2 Glass Pools, so that opens up some slots as well. Maybe I can probably, I've got the Harbingers in the main, get the Brazen Borrowers out as well. Keep the Merfolk density pretty high. Not really even sure I want mimics, but maybe I could just run a lot of lords tonight. So run like the 16 lord plan. I feel like I'm missing some. Oh, I want to run force in the main. So let's get all 4 forces in here, and then we're gonna have to trim a little bit. Hey, Brew182. Thanks for tuning in. So if I'm running the forces, what is the cut then? And yeah, I'm also getting a little bit. Maybe just like 2 Regeries is fine. Maybe we just. Glass Bowl is fun. Not really sure it's where I want to be though. It does help us cut on land, trim on lands a little bit, but with only 2, I'm worried now that Bob Andy is mentioning it. Maybe like 19 lands plus 2 mimics is better. In which case, I just cut the Regeries and go up a land. And then what land would I go up? Got the 3 waterlogged groves. Could go up to 4. They do hit our life total pretty hard. Actually, usually I'm in favor of running fewer waterlogged groves than more. There's a lot of counter spells running around the format, so maybe go up 1 cavern, and I guess that's probably it. And then we have to address the sideboard over here. It's a total mess right now. Singles Guy's Blessing seems fine. Hopefully we'll run into Mill and just get him with that. Do we want to run Chalice tonight? Do we not want to run Chalice tonight? I do like having a lot of Deprives in the sideboard. It's particularly good with Glass Pool, though we're not running all of them. I don't like running really green spells in the sideboard. Gaia's Blessing is not something we really want to cast. It's just something that gets milled against mill. I mean, in theory, we should be able to have green mana to cast these kinds of green spells, but it just, I don't know, increases the variance past where I'm comfortable just running a bunch of green spells like Veil. You know what? Let's I've been seeing a lot of Titan. What if we just like pack with gusts or whatever? Is 4 gusts too much? We'll say we'll just lean on the Deprives as far as the counter spells go. And then if we're trying to worry about bridge, which I'm typically not really that worried about, we do want something like Brazen Borrow or Echoing Truth. But if the curve is really low, I don't know how keen I am on adding more 3-drops. But I did add that 19th land, so we should be able to support 3-drops. I could also run Ashiok's if I feel like, maybe instead of going 4 Gust, I'll just add in like 2 Ashiok's. And then we're set not just against Titan, but also against like Control and Shadow type decks. Ashiok is excellent. Even against like Jund, like Ashiok exiles their graveyard, makes Tarmogoyf smaller, makes it harder for them to get value out of Renin 6, and they just can't crack their fetch lands, which is obviously pretty good for us. I think I'll just cut 1 Brazen Borrower. I'm not so afraid of stuff like Ensnaring Bridge. That being said, I could easily get got by it at any moment, but I feel like I see it like once a month or something. Shaper Sanctuary can be good. Yeah, Shapers is a good spell, but you kind of really need it on turn 1. Death and Taxes, yeah, they are on the rise. And with the Sword of Fire and Ice, it can be pretty difficult to deal with. So, I think it's just kind of a rough matchup at this point for us. We have to try to like be the aggro kind of beatdown, get our creatures big enough so that the Sword of Fire and Ice can't really kill them. But they've got Path, and then they've got the 4 main deck, like Skyclave Apparitions now. So I think it's just kind of a hard matchup, all the various Death and Taxes builds right now from Merfolk. You need to hope that like your Tricksters line up really well with what they're doing. Honestly, I don't really know what kind of sideboard stuff we can run that would really help that matchup very much. I mean, we've got the new 2-drop Merfolk that can like steal artifacts when they come in, or when it comes into the battlefield. But I haven't really tried that yet. I'm not really super excited to try it tonight. But I think this build looks okay. I've got 4 islands, a bunch of other lands, and then all the creatures. Just testing out 2 glass pools. We'll see how often they get played as lands. And the 4 forces is a very, very powerful spell. I like running it in the main deck. So, all right. Deck construction out of the way. I'll go ahead and just jump into a league. So make sure this is the list. Pretty sure it is. Blue-green folk. Sorry, I don't, maybe I have Cardboard Live loaded, but it probably has a Soul Herder deck, so pay no mind to the Cardboard Live. I can't really change that right now. Death and Taxes with 8 hand disruption spells. Actually, before I jump into this first league, I'm just going to use the bathroom real quick. So just give me a sec. I'll be right back. All right, so let's do this. It's like M. Hayashi has somebody that's tied right now at the top of the table, so not completely dominating, but still up there, tied for first. Wonder how many leagues a day that guy plays. Never asked him that question. We won the die roll. That's awesome. You know, I've been running Ether Vial and Soul Herder as well lately. Obosh, and we've got a couple things that bounce creatures, so this should go pretty well for us, hopefully. Opponent's mulliganing to 6. How are you guys in chat doing this evening? How was your Monday? I guess it's Columbus Day today, right? Did you guys have the day off of work, or did you have to work? If you had the day off, what did you do? Did you get to relax? Me, I just worked. Today, Monday is always my busy day. Yeah, I don't buy this idea that M. Hayashi is only at the top of the table because he just plays more than anybody else. Like, he wakes up and he plays, and he goes to sleep, wakes up, and just starts playing again. Even if that's true, there's a lot of people that do that, and there's only one person. Well, there's 2 people right now at the top of the table. Is this Dredge with Obosh? What? I don't know what's going on. Glasspool Mimic can copy something potentially this game. That might be nice. Just gonna play that. Silvergill. Okay, drawing not terribly so far. Could be oops all spells, I guess, but this is a land, right? So probably not oops all spells, right? Because they don't play lands, they just play spells. That also happen to be land sometimes. This is just the dredge land. But it is mono red so far. A little bit frightening. Spreading Seas. Interesting. So I think what I'd like to do here is attack, play the Mimic, see if they kill the Silvergill Adept. Then I can just vial in the Master and just copy the Lord. I mean, seems like a fine plan B. Ah, it's a lava dart deck. Makes sense. It's Obosh. Actually, it's probably also like a Blood Moon or like a Magus of the Moon deck. And Forgotten Cave is just extra value. So this is just pretty typical. Pretty typical mono red Obosh with like stomps and things like that. So let's see, Brew, no holiday for you. You worked. You guys are hard workers. So now I'm not sure. Maybe I just play Spreading Seas, like chill out a little bit. Don't really feel like playing Viling and the Lord and going like Glass Pool, because then they can just kill the Lord and I just get utterly blown out. So we're not in a rush. I'm gonna keep the Ether Vial on 2 for a little while. Opponent just floating some mana. Got it. And okay, another Lord. Seems good to me. Do they want to bolt my face? Maybe. Maybe not. Didn't we want to? Yeah, well, let's see how this goes. So yeah, Magus, not the end of the world. Oh, you know what? This is no longer an island, right? I don't think it's going to matter too much. Interesting. No, we can't cast that for the rest of the game, probably. Oh, save it with the Lord. Did I have it up? Was I just sleeping on the Adept? It's possible I missed that. This is fine. It's gonna die. It's always weird if you try to save it, because then they just kill the Lord right away. So I usually don't let like spot removal force my hand on Ether Vial. Just play your game, and well, this is kind of convenient. Looks like the opponent might not have a land drop. Remember, this deck only plays odd CMCs, so at this point they could only play 1-drops. They're going to kill. Yeah, this is weird. All right, so this is not an island. All their lands are mountains. Already enjoying my decision to up the number of Harbingers in this build for this evening. I'll be able to play my speaker next turn. It's pretty sweet. Okay. Interesting timing. not super necessary. Okay, so no more lands for the opponent. Right. Yeah, I mean, Pro Blue is just so rough when they get the sword going, and also I know that, excuse me, Batterskull doesn't tap. Maybe I just play this now, get another green source, so that I can crack this. Also just, I'd like to be able to crack this before they play out that Magus again, if that's in fact going to be their play next turn. Yeah, like I think my play here is like I don't need a lot of lands. They're not going to have artifact destruction in the main, I don't think. So Just getting the extra card seems pretty nice. Look at the breeding pool. Like, they're doing a whole lot of nothing right now. And, I mean, I guess I might as well just crack this now. If I'm going, like, maybe I'll draw an Ether Vial. But whatever. I don't know. I don't need to do it right now. If opponent just plays out. So this is an island. It will become a mountain again when they play the Magus out, if that's what happens. Okay, a Soul Scar. Currently an island still. I wonder if the opponent is aware of that. It looks like they were not aware of that. All right, let's start by cracking this. That was the plan. Yeah, and I'm just gonna play a Lord. If they have the removal, that's fine. They're gonna blow up the Ether Vial? Do they have an Abrade or something? Stomp. Okay, whatever. I don't know, like, doesn't seem like their stuff is lining up super well here. Stomping the Kumena Speaker, probably not the best possible play. I think now I just dump Lords. Just like hit for more damage. Leave Harbinger up with Ether Vial. Leave up Force if it's relevant. But yeah, this guy's falling behind. Cracking for 7 now. 2-turn clock. They'll have 4 cards in hand. But they're short on mana. We know they have a Magus of the Moon in hand, which does pretty much nothing against us. Hey, Grim Ducky, this is the first game of the first round. I'm playing Simic this evening after not doing super well with the really super fun concept build with Mono Blue Flicker Folk the last couple of streams. Just like both of those streams, I went 2 and 3. It just felt a little bit underpowered. This is the best you can do. You're dead on board, my friend. Oh, well, no, it's a mountain now, so not dead on board quite yet. But they do not have good blocks currently. Well, their blocks are not terrible, right? They could trade 1 Lord for like Magus or something, but then I'd get in for 7. So basically, actually, if I Violin the Harbinger, I think it's just game over, right? They can't double block anything. But they do have Lava Dart, but it's not doing very much there in the graveyard. Okay, so now they have terrible blocks. Okay, so just basically Force of Negation up here. They could like block and then like Lava Dart to try to, but it's just like, no, they have to block. They have to block what the 4s, right? Okay, I'm gonna take 7. I could force the Lava Dart if I feel like it, if they try to like kill this guy after the Lord dies. I'm gonna play this, but I'll have my Island Walk reestablished. I mean, the Lord seems safe, so as long as I've got 2 Lords on the table and Force back up, I think I should be just fine. Okay, so this is getting prowess. So now I think I probably would. I think I'm going to force this because then it's just a massive blowout, right? All right, that's game over. So we didn't get to see Mr. Obosh. Mr. or Mrs. Obosh. Oh, he's targeting himself. I can dig it. Okay, game 1 in the bag. Let's figure out what to do for game 2. Like these Harbingers. That was a good opening hand. Yeah, that was pretty good. But even then, like, the Harbinger wouldn't have died. is still being blocked by a 2/2. So I still would have had 8 power on board, and they would have been at 1. Ether Gust seems pretty good. Even Brazen Borrowers bouncing their stuff. Chalice of the Void for all those. I think Chalice of the Void actually seems pretty good here. Turns off Bolt, turns off Lava Dart, turns off Soulscar Mage. Maybe they have Swift Spears. I'm not exactly sure. They're Dismember could be good. Not really sure how crazy I am. They must be taking out their Megases because, well, it's funny because I had all my basics like that game. So in theory, based on what they saw, they should take out their Megases, but I'm actually really, really heavy on the non-basics. So I think I'll take the speakers out just in case we get Megast again and we can actually cast our blue creatures. Not exactly sure if that's the best route to take. Dismember in some quantity seems good. Maybe in just all of them seems good. Ashiok is not good. I think the Ether Gusts are good enough. I don't think I need Brazen Borrower. I mean, they'll probably have some Abrades or whatever, but they got to draw them. So Glasspool is a little bit slow, but it's part of the mana base, so I'm going to be pretty careful about trimming. I'll trim one of them. I need to hustle a little bit. Maybe Silvergills are a little weak because they just died to Lava Dart, so trim 2 Silvergills. Maybe even 3 Silvergills. Actually, the forces, I don't need to be so heavy on forces. So I'm going to bring Silvergill back at least 1 copy, and then maybe just bring the Glasspool back. Actually, hold on. Let me take the Glasspool out, take another Silvergill, and keep 2 of these speakers, and we'll just hedge a little bit on respecting their land hate or their non-basic hate. Because we can literally only cast Kumena Speaker with non-basics. I mean, you'd hope that the opponent's going to take out their Blood Moons, right? Okay, so we're going to search for an island straight off the bat, and we're going to keep this. And we should be good to go with 2 islands. Lord is a nice draw, and we're just going to Harbinger this thing on our turn. See if they have another 1-drop to play, or just like a Bolt or something. Okay. Okay, yeah, we're going to go get a basic island. Okay, all right, so we've got our land sorted for now. They could have like land destruction, in which case playing the breeding pool out now might be the smart play. I don't think I can like try to play creatures until I draw a chalice and then bounce this thing. I think that's a little bit too cheeky. I think it's probably just much better just to they didn't have a second 1-drop, so they only play odd numbers. So it should make their third turn super awkward. They can choose between playing a 3-drop or playing out their 1-drop again. I mean, okay, they played out their 1-drop again. So this is kind of interesting. Like, I could attack, let them like bolt my face, and then Ether Gust their Soulscar Mage. So, but they do well to block first. But I think I'm just better off just committing more creatures to the board here. I don't think I have to be super afraid of this Soulscar Mage right now. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and play the Mutavault. You know what? So if I attack, again, like hopefully, well, their turn 4, they can play a 3-drop and a 1-drop just fine. These Silvergills, I should probably just run the Lords out first. Yeah. So I'll play the Lord first. And now the thing is, if I attack, they kill the Lord, they just eat the Harbinger. Have to play it smart like we do against Burn. And just not run face first into anything. Okay, nothing. Nothing. That's so weird. If they had removal, they would have spent it just then. This costs 3 to put in their hand, right? Kozilek's Return. Lovely. Couldn't even Ether Gust that because it's not red or green. So, okay, all right. Got 2 for 1. Let's see if we can rebuild. Got a Silvergill into a Lord, which seems pretty decent. All right, using the burn. Fair enough. It's nice. I don't have to pay life. Could also just like run out the Lord and hold up Ether Gust, let them like go ham next turn, like on this Soulscar Mage, and then just gust it back to their hand. Next turn, dump. Just play both Silvergills now, but both Silvergills die to a single Lava Dart, which is pretty rough. Well, Kozilek's Return explains why the opponent didn't spend their spot removal the previous turn. So yeah, I think I'll just play Silvergill. Maybe we draw another Harbinger or something. I'm going to reveal the Lord, because if I don't draw Harbinger, I'm just going to play that. Ether Vial is a good card, but it's not for this turn, I don't think. Let's play the Lord out. Okay. Just trying to rebuild. We are on the draw this game. Opponent on 3 cards after playing out their 5th land. They might be getting close to... Oh, another Kozilek's Return. That's cool. So, learning a lesson here. We can try to play slightly more around Kozilek's Return. Like, I could have just played the Silvergill and held up Ether Gust, or play the Lord and hold up Ether Gust. That's probably even the better play, I think. All right, opponent's trying to squeeze in damage where they can. Do they get this? It's 4 to my face, 8. No, it's not lethal yet, right? But they're down to 0 cards. Well, they can flash that back. So I'm going to 8 and then 7, and then don't think I'm just dead yet. Opponent thinking if they want to spend that Lava Dart for 2 more points of damage. Go to 7, take 5, go to 2, and they're doing it. Little loose, if you ask me. So Ether Vial, I mean, I can't cast too much here. Start by casting Spreading Seas, I guess. Okay, all right. It's awkward. All right, so if I just gust, they put it on top of their deck. Next turn, I just play out my hand, basically. They're at 20 life, so this is seeming like an unlikely game to win. I mean, I run out Silvergill, and then if they draw... Well, if they draw like a Lava Dart, I'm just dead anyway. So maybe it's better just to hope that they whiff, play Silvergill, and then sort of try to trade, I guess. Like, read their bluff, I guess. Like, if they draw a non-creature spell, I think I'm just dead, right? Just goes to my face, and that's the end of the game. But if they don't draw if they draw a land or a creature, I mean, okay. Well, All right, that works too, but they could have just lava darted my face. So, concede the game. So opponent with the double Kozilek's return, it's going to be hard to beat. I am going to bring back in forces, and maybe all the forces. Kozilek's return is just a little too dirty, I think, to not have a solid answer to it. Chalice on the play seems pretty good still. You might want to leave that in. With all the burn that they're playing, I think Dismember is just more of a liability here. I'll just take out the Dismembers. We didn't see any Blood Moons that game. So I think Speakers coming back in is just fine. Silvergills are pretty weak. So I think I'll just trim the Silvergills. Just run it like that. First game was so easy. Second game was quite difficult. All right, we can keep this. Little painful, but I think we can make it work. If they can moon us, then we'll have to. Well, if it's a creature, then we're not going to be able to do anything about it. I don't even think Trickster turns off Magus's effect. So I'm fairly certain that it doesn't. All right, let's see what this Chalice does. Oh my god. Do I have to put that down now? Oh, game. Are they just going to play 2 1-drops next turn and just run me over? All these stupid decisions at the deck. Why couldn't you have been in my hand last turn? Definitely playing the Waterlogged Grove. I'm going to play the Chalice out. Not blocking, so I might as well attack. They still get prowess triggers. But now, if I bounce their Swift Spear, they can't replay it. Of course, if they have Artifact Hate, then we're just kind of screwed. I could force the Artifact Hate. I think I can afford to force this. I don't know. Looks like they might be very light on lands, or maybe just totally behind on lands. So I think I'll just force it, and maybe I'll pay for it. Okay, well they had a tapped land. I like drawing that island. So now we take just less damage from our lands. They're not going to be able to play the Swift Spear out again. Actually, this deck can't play Obosh and run Abrade. So their removal, their artifact destruction must be like 1-drops, like Shattering Spree. Ah, what? Sky runs like 4 Kozilek's returns. Let's pass the turn and maybe crack the Waterlogged Grove. I think playing the Chalice seemed to be a good call here. God. Good call. Things are going sideways. Did he just... Oh, he put Obosh in his hand. Okay, well, Trickster does something. One land away from Obosh. They must have another Kozilek's return. This is this is so ridiculous. 2 games in a row where I got double Kozilek's returned. I think we're pretty well out of this game here. I feel like I can take 6 damage here. And then bounce it back to their hand just to like gain a turn, basically. They don't really have fetch lands, so can't get too tricky with the Ether Gust, I don't think. He needs to draw pretty well from here to the end of the game now. Ugh, not good enough. Are you guys still with me? I've been pretty quiet in chat. This Chalice is really biting us in the ass. I could have thought maybe about trimming some Ether Vials, but typically we want to open Ether Vial and then play Chalice, right? So I'm just playing this out because they could have a handful of like Lightning Bolts that they can't cast, and then, oh my god. So now I have to chump block and then just draw non-stop Harbingers, basically. I mean, basically what happened here is we got double Kozilek's returned in Game 2 and Game 3. All right, guys. I did my best. Opponent had the Ultra Mega Nuts in Games 2 and 3. Well, I'm mana flooded. But also just like the double Kozilek's return is the main culprit here. And then just like the way that I drew was so awkward. Like I drew Ether Vial on turn 2 when I wanted to play the Chalice instead of like Ether Vial on turn 1. But then, you know, like, I don't know, opponent just had the double Kozilek's return. Nothing I could do about that. And it's pretty frustrating because super dominant game 1. Yeah, Isotope, did you miss me getting hit with 4 Kozilek's returns across 2 games? All right, this is a keep. We'd love to draw Ether Vial off the top. But if we don't, then sequencing will look something like this. Jund. It's kind of amazing how manlands work their way into like exactly one deck, you know? Like this is just a Jund card. Scary 0/1 Tarmogoyf. So, you know, Lily incoming, but we have to play a creature out here. I'd kind of like to thin the deck, I do believe. So we've got green source here. I do have to play something, so don't have a lot of 3-drops in the deck. So next turn I'll probably have like free mana, so I could just play like Island, play a Lord. Next turn, play the Flooded Strand, get like a breeding pool, play another Lord. Actually, I'll play Harbinger, bounce a Tarmogoyf. Yeah. Liliana, they discard something, and I lose the Lord, and then the Tarmogoyf is a 2/3. Super predictable, huh? Okay. Oh, wow, they made me sack. They didn't discard anything. So this is 1/2. Not a big problem. I mean, I am. What, you can't play around removal here. Just got to make him do it, basically. Well, that was sort of a decent land to draw there, I guess. Okay, so now they make me discard something, and I guess I discard this fetch. Because this is just another draw here. Like, this land is going to let me play out some creatures, and then I'm going to turn it into another card, basically. Okay. Following up with the Tarmogoyf. Sick draw would be Trickster, so I could tap the Tarmogoyf and get at Liliana. The Tarmogoyf is going to be a 2/3 if they play it out. Now I can make Harbinger into a 3/3 and just attack Lily anyway. If they have removal, they might just kill the Harbinger. Probably time to make me discard now, I guess. Unless they really like all the cards in their hand. There we go. Well, discarding a land is going to make the Tarmogoyf bigger, but there's nothing I can really do about it, I don't think. Opponents probably might discard a land as well, so let's see how it goes. Yeah. So now, Trickster off the top for the win, maybe? Spreading Seas, also amazing. Force, not the best. Oh, you know what? I've got 2 Lords. Let's just play our Lords. Had to think that one through. Kind of awkward getting the Force in hand right now, but you know, it's something for next turn. Opponent did miss their land drop. Which one do you value more, opponent? Tarmogoyf or Liliana? All right. They value the Tarmogoyf more. Could have more Lilianas in hand. We've got 10 power on the board. It's pretty good, but they've got 3 cards. And again, they did miss their last land drop. So, you know, they've got some gas that they're working with. If they want to race me, it's sort of okay. This probably means they have like another Goyf in hand or just a bunch of removal. Either of them seems like it could be pretty likely. If they just pass, though, I've got this Force up. So, pass the turn, opponent. Another Goyf. What do we got? Another Goyf. So now a Trickster would be amazing. Okay, no Trickster. But we can just go ahead and crack this Waterlog Grove, I think. Not really interested in chumping with this Muta, so I think I'll probably just tap that. It's pretty good. It means I can get in with Harbinger at least, right? Although, I mean, just leaving up Force seems pretty good. Take 8. They're on 1 card. Force whatever they have. Follow up next turn with Lord and Mutavault activation. If I play the Lord and attack with Harbinger, I play the Lord. If they have a bolt like in hand, they have to respond and kill. And Lord, in that case, not in the best spot. If they attack for 8 next turn, I can swing back for 8 plus 6 is 14. No, I wanted a spell to play this turn, or potentially play this turn. So I think cracking it now was okay. And you shouldn't be afraid of Thoughtseize like so late in the game, I don't think. And I've got force up, so it doesn't really matter too much, one way or the other. All right, so again, play a Lord. If they don't have the removal right now, they really haven't played any spot removal yet, though. And again, they missed a land drop. So they could have a piece of spot removal, which case we'd like to force it. Then if we play the Lord and attack with what we have, it's exactly lethal. It's 18 next turn. So I kind of like representing like a bit of weakness here, just putting the opponent on one piece of spot removal, which will force, and then just hopefully just win next turn. The alternative, again, is to play the Lord, swing for 5 now, but the removal makes the possibility for removal makes that too risky, I think. So I just pass the turn. I don't think they know about this force here. Yeah, they wouldn't, because they haven't played any hand disruption yet, right? So it looks like I read this pretty well so far. They're empty-handed. And if they just attack next turn, I mean, they see that I don't have lethal. They might have a 2-turn clock, so... Well, these Goyfs are even bigger now, so maybe they want to attack. Actually, they have lethal if they draw land off the top because they can activate the Raging Ravine. So I don't really know what I want them to draw here. Maybe another Raging Ravine would be like the best draw for me to have them have. Or like a Wrenn and 6 would be fine. Come on. Okay, well, we are not in a position to block here. Okay, so they drew a tap land, which was, again, sort of the best thing we could have hoped for them to draw. So now, I don't really... Maybe Spreading Seas is the best draw? Definitely not a tap land. So things are getting super awkward now. Unfortunate running here. So again, we do have lethal on board. But we can't really attack here. Maybe I'll like tap like I'm gonna cast something in case they draw Thoughtseize. We've got 2 5/5s, so we can block pretty well. And again, if we draw like Spreading Seas off the top, it should just be enough. We might have to make some unfortunate blocks here, though. Maybe I tapped like I was gonna cast like an Ether Gust or something. Opponent wanting to Thoughtseize to make sure that the coast is clear. Right. Well, not activating the Raging Ravine. So I think I might just activate the Mutavault and just double block one of the Tarmogoyfs if they get in with both. Okay, no attacks. Very interesting. And no play from them. Oh, Jesus. So I think I might still have to play this bluff here. So, all right, play the Ether Vial. Just pass the turn. Don't waste anybody's time, really, at this point. Did the opponent draw some kind of removal that they're just playing very carefully, or did they just draw a land that they don't really want to play out? So I'll have to wait and see. Okay, probably not removal, I'm guessing. So they've got 2 cards in hand at this point. Let's see if they feel any bolder. Okay, well, we're getting a little bit of time. More than I could have asked for a turn or 2 ago. Well, that is a redraw. And now I don't hate the idea of just passing. Although, because there's really no win here, right? Like, unless if I draw like a Spreading Seas, that's awesome. I don't think I would like get in with everybody necessarily. Although I do have lethal even just with these guys. I mean, I'm gonna play whatever I draw, right? So let's leave the Mutavault untapped. All right, very, very weird league so far. Getting pretty terrible draws at important moments, I should say. Okay, then maybe Wrenn and 6 will combine with a Bolt to get rid of one of these lords. Or does the opponent just want to generate value with the fetch lands? So I'll have to wait and see. Okay, go into my face. Interesting strategy. Still passing. We've got Ether Vial to help out with the mana a little bit here. All right, so I still think I'm just redrawing here. So they have like double bolt or something. They're just gonna burn me out. Oh, that's interesting. So maybe now I get in with some creatures. Just with like the 5/5s. See how they block. But then if they have any removal, 5/5s just die. They just get eaten. Maybe it's better just to play the Kumanis. Maybe I just attack with 1 creature and see what the opponent's working with. Like Harbinger. But then I'm forced to like Violin the Lord. They do have 2 cards in hand and they haven't been playing lands. So we've got a creature to replace the Harbinger with. I feel like the attack is okay here. They could double block, still kill 1. Attacking the opponent. I mean, this is pretty clearly a moment where I'd Violin a Lord. But maybe I have a Trickster and they don't want to get blown out by that. Maybe they, oh god, opponent being super careful. Was that a bluff? Me not viling in the Lord? Like, do I not have the Lord? Did I just attack with a 5/5 into your 2 5/6s? I think I just have lethal next turn if they can't kill me on this turn. Just around their blocks if they tap any mana. Well, that changes things a little bit. Let's see what they hit. They hit a lightning bolt. To the face. To the face. But they only have 3 blockers. I think we might have this, guys. Let's see how it goes. Don't think they activated Wrenn and 6 yet. They definitely didn't play a land yet. Returning a land. Maybe they play another creature. I think I still have it around, even if they play another blocker. They don't have 2 more bolts. Guys. Guys. All right, so we got triple bolted. No, nobody's commenting on that ridiculous game. Finally got to a spot where I could have attacked to win, and the opponent just had 3 bolts. Actually, they hit a bolt off of Bloodbraid Elf on top of the 2 bolts that they had in hand. I thought the mana was actually pretty smooth that game. I flooded out, but a couple of the lands were waterlogged groves, which replaced themselves. It it was pretty bad tempo wise. Like I had to spend my mana drawing cards instead of playing creatures, but definitely that game nice supporting evidence for why we run the waterlogged groves. Opponent taking the full clock to do their sideboarding. I'll keep this. We've got enough lands to keep Glasspool as a creature, I think. Glasspool turn 1 as a land. Could be nice, though. I think I kind of like that. That way I'm not taking a lot of damage off of Waterlogged Grove, and we can just turn Grove into another card. But do we want Waterlogged Grove to just be Glasspool Mimic? I guess that's a good question. They do pretty well at, in general, keeping our board pretty tidy, so better just to get... well, it was just triple bolt. I don't know. I'm going to play this tapped as a non-painful blue land. Inquisition, take away my Spreading Seas. Awesome. Okay. Oh, that was a good draw. Don't need to play Mutavault just yet. Ether Vial, good draw next turn, I guess. Something to... All right, no, I guess Kumena Speaker's probably the best draw next turn. Guess now they realize they have to... What's happening here? Is it Tarmogoyf? Okay. I am definitely going to continue attacking their lands, and we'll see if it pays off. So next turn we just get to bounce the Tarmogoyf no matter what. Oh, hey there. Not even going to activate that yet. Let the opponent... Well, they're not going to run into anything here, but... I don't know. Like this opponent is definitely like a maybe I don't know. I'm gonna trim my own graveyard. I think, just to if in case they have like a scavenging ooze. Doesn't really matter too much yet, but I'm just gonna play tight. Yeah, like they should have taken the Harbinger there for sure, because now they can't cast the Tarmogoyf when I bounce it. So I mean they can if they find green mana. Maybe I shouldn't underestimate the opponent. Yeah, I'm not afraid of saying like choke. For example, I only have one island, and the opponent has more islands than I do right now, which is kind of funny. I think just getting in with Mutavault is fine here. So, I mean, taking the Lord would indicate that they had green mana to recast the Tarmogoyf, and there it is. I can attack into the Tarmogoyf, see if they block, and then crack Relic. But I'm going to play the Lord also. I mean, they can get green mana, take a bunch of damage, tap blue, so green and blue leave up like push or bolt. We've got the redraw over here. Like, Tarmogoyf into Inquisition here, something like that would be kind of obnoxious. Oh, okay. Just trying to draw some cards, maybe. That means we're going to get some damage in on our turn, which is quite nice. You push for 6 next turn, 2-turn clock. Pitching a Liliana. Okay. Once again, I'll just hit my own graveyard. These waterlogged groves have been they've had our back in this match. Just hard to avoid them. Sure, the opponent can untap and kill the Lord, but we've got a lot more Lords in the deck, and with a redraw coming with the Relic, we'll have 2 looks, potentially 3 if we crack this waterlogged grove. Okay, Lord down. Goyf back on the battlefield. Opponent thinking if they want to play out their second Goyf, tapping out and putting the match or the game at risk of me top decking a Lord. So I think I can wow. So yeah, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna leave Relic. Well, let me go ahead and act like I'm thinking about the blocks. Gonna have 6 lands next turn. Can crack a Relic, one that would leave 4 lands. Attack with Mutavault, that leaves 2 lands. All right, so it's taking this not cracking Relic here. It's trying to sort of lure a block with the Tarmogoyf. But the thing that can happen here is, I guess, I attack into the Goyf. Well, that was a good draw. That was a good draw. Okay, all right. So now I think the only thing left in the graveyard should be whatever instant they're playing right now. So just be a 1/2 and well, yeah. Should still well, yeah, no, the creature that yeah, they're going to kill my lord. They're just conceding. Didn't work out for them. All right. So we got game 2 on the play. Neither game have I had Etherval yet. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. If you guys have any sideboarding thoughts, let me know. I'll be right back. I don't think Chalice ever comes in against Jund because they have all these abrupt decays and assassin's trophies and Kolagon's commands that it's just not that good, I don't think. There's Ether Gust, and we are a tempo deck, but I don't know, like gusting their 2 drops or whatever doesn't seem that amazing to me. So I kind of like where I'm at with the setup. So I think I'll just go ahead and submit the deck. The relic did nice work in that game. And also, once again, the mana base feeling quite good. Just the opponent didn't have 3 lightning bolts to throw at my face that game. Okay. They're mulliganing to 6, and we absolutely cannot mulligan this hand. So we're going to keep, and I hope that this painful land doesn't bite us in the butt. I feel that maybe this opponent isn't super experienced playing against Merfolk because when they Inquisitioned me last game on turn 1, they took, I think, a Lord instead of Spreading Seas, and I think the spreading seas are just so powerful in the matchup. Like toward the end of the game, they're super important for having access to Island Walk, but in the early part of the game, they just slow the opponent down and draw us cards. So let's see if they correct their mistake this time. Got to take my creatures, right? This is how I win. I win with my creatures. Trickster is particularly good against your Tarmogoyfs. Really, there's not much to think about here. Opponent leading with a pain land. Probably a good sign for us. So we're hoping to draw one of our 2 Ether Vials off the top. That would be sort of the nuts for us. Actually, that's not terrible. That wasn't a terrible draw either. I'm going to play that tapped. Opponent has complete information here, but doesn't change the fact that I want to play this tapped here. Yeah, we can't sideboard out Silvergills just because they have a card that makes it less good, I think. I mean, you can say the same thing about Lava Dart. Oh man, guys, it's gonna happen. Ashiok's a good one too, and we will have double blue. But for now, I'm going to play the Cavern of Souls. I kind of just have to pass the turn here. I wish I had like a blocker down and just like kill this Tarmogoyf no matter what. But the opponent has to know that how Trickster works. Let's see. No double black. And if they could have played Ren in 6 last turn, they almost certainly would have. They're on a mulligan to 6. If they attack, well, I guess we'll just... Okay, what's happening here? Plague Engineer. Okay, well, let's see if they get in with the Tarmogoyf. I did bring in my Dismembers. Okay, opponent knows about it. So, I'm not sure that I can afford to get this down on the table right now. I might need to leave it back for defense. The opponent seems to be leaning pretty hard on this Plague Engineer. So, like, just start building up lords. Ashiok can actually sort of neuter the Tarmogoyf a little bit. So, should kind of like just getting Ashiok down next turn. I was just going to say, like, a blue source would be nice because then I can double, like, play 2 creatures on turn 3. So maybe I just keep leaving up Trickster, just to try to get the Tarmogoyf. It can't trade with the Plague Engineer because it's just going to be a 1/1. But I think this opportunity to get Ashiok down is too strong. The opponent can attack into it. In theory, they shouldn't be able to kill it. I'll be able to get two lords down next turn. I don't know that Ashiok... maybe it does enough. Maybe it does enough. And then do I want to mill them just to get rid of this 2? I mean, get rid of this 1 card. I feel like I might as well mill them. I don't know. Whatever. Got rid of an Inquisition, a Bolt, and a Kolaghan's Command. I don't know if that's good or not. It's just getting the opponent closer to their second Plague Engineer. All right, so just lords for the rest of the game. All right, both going after Ashiok. It'll put it down to 1. Maybe I'll just play 1 lord and just hold up the Trickster. This is another Plague Engineer. That's pretty much game over, because now my creatures just die immediately. So, unless I draw a Dismember... you know what? That was a cool draw there. Opponent is almost certainly just going to get in with this Tarmogoyf now. So I can Dismember, make this a 1/1, then Tarmogoyf becomes an 0/1, and we eat it with Trickster. And I can actually just play this Mutavault right now. Pass the turn like I've got nothing to do. I'll just leave Ashiok where he is. So opponent on the Mull to 6 has double Plague Engineer. It's pretty dirty. Now if they like Thoughtseize me to take my Trickster out so I don't get to get the Tarmogoyf, would be pretty obnoxious. And actually, they can't really attack well with Tarmogoyf anyway, since Mutavault... Well, no, Mutavault is like a 0/0, right? So... There it is. Okay. This is a good attack for us. So first things first. Kill this. Now, if opponent uses removal on the Trickster, it's kind of whatever, I guess. I didn't have enough mana to both get Trickster in, dismember, and activate Mutavault. Just going out to my face. This guy's going after Ashiok. Maybe we can keep Ashiok around one more turn. Well, definitely, since Tarmogoyf is going to become a 0/1. Come on. Ah. All right, well, Ashiok sticks around a little bit. Oh, I was just hoping for that, actually. Okay, all right. I can't crack this, although the opponent might do it. I think I just play a Relic, play one Lord. Leave up Relic and or Mutavault, I guess. I want the opponent to crack this Bloodstained Mire so bad. They didn't do it, so they know how Ashiok works. So if I block and then activate Relic, they sort of have to. So where's this guy getting in? At Ashiok? If they crack this to grow the Tarmogoyf, make it a 1/2, it'd eat my creature. I feel like I should probably just take this. Or, you know what? Why don't I just crack this now? No blocks, right? It's going to become a 0/1 if they want to crack it into. Oh, man. Guys. I think I want to block now. If it becomes a 1/2, I can hit this and I become a 2/2. I mean, they could play a piece of removal, but if they have removal anyway. All right, let's see how this goes. Okay. Super interesting. Are you guys watching this? This is like an extremely... oh, wait, it made it a 3/4. Oh, well. I lose my Mistbinder. But we got both of the Plague Engineers off the table. Unfortunately, we're not able to get rid of the Tarmogoyf. Opponent cracked a Bloodstained Mire for no value. They are going to... Okay, they discarded a Liliana, but now they've drawn up to 2 cards. We're going to get to rebuild a little bit. And sort of have to see how it goes. Blue. Green. Maybe I don't know. Not feeling great about our position here, but kind of cool that we were able to deal with 2 Plague Engineers. And I don't know. Still alive. Tarmogoyf has been a pain in the butt this game. Maybe I should have minus Ashiok. Okay, interesting. Like, why do you play that? Like, now I know that you have that. Now I'm more inclined to protect Ashiok. Okay, going after my face, and that's it. Interesting. If I double block, currently he could only kill one of my creatures. They're at 13. I feel like I take this and I just crack the Waterlogged Grove for now. Yeah, that's pretty rough for us. No, I mean, with 2 cards, you can't. I mean, I just have to play to kind of win the game, and for me, winning the game is probably going to happen more with cracking the Waterlogged Grove. I wasn't playing around removal there. Trickster's a good one, huh? But now we have to make these awkward decisions. But yeah, I think we just have to pass. Yeah. If the opponent had removal, they probably would have attacked with like their Pyromancer too, I think. So the fact that they left these 2 guys back is a pretty strong sign of, oh, good job, opponent. This always happens. It's always Inquisition when like I have the Trickster ready. So obnoxious. All right, the Lord's gonna get taken away. And again, I'm pretty strongly putting them on nothing else beyond this. They do have. I mean, they could have a bolt or something. I don't know. Like, it just seems to me like they don't have it. So, whatever. And if they have it, you know, I'm probably dead anyway, right? So now they definitely don't have it. They have a land. All right. So if I draw Spreading Seas, I can win in 2 turns, I guess. Silvergill is absolutely miserable as a top deck. Absolutely ridiculously terrible. So now I think I have to try to shrink their board a little bit. So let's get rid of Ashiok, make these a little bit smaller, hopefully. Are they going to become 3/4s? I would hope. 4/5s. I was hoping for too much. So now like Bloodbraid Elf into Liliana. Come on. Like Clothis? Not what? That's what I meant to say, Croxa. Jesus. Oh, well, they don't have double black for this, so I'm just going to lose my Silvergill Adept, and that'll be the end of that. Yeah, I think we're just toast here, guys. Opponent just passes. So weird. Huh. This is tricky. There's an instant in here already, so I could kill one of these Tarmogoyfs. Go down to 1 life, and I'm sort of okay. Just pass the turn, see if I can get them to like rip a Thoughtseize off or something. Actually, if they cast Croxa, it's pretty dirty. I think we might be dead in that case. Okay. Maelstrom Pulse. That might do it. Go down to 1. They attack with 3 creatures. We have to chump with 1. Trade block is pretty terrible. Actually, yeah, that was a good draw for them. But they've been super oh, man. That was a sorcery. Oh, it was a punt. That was a sorcery. If I was gonna kill one of their Tarmogoyfs, I had to do it with the sorcery on the stack. I'm so stupid. Actually, I can still kill the Tarmogoyf. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's totally not the end of the world. So let's still do that. Not the end of the world. Not that stupid. And they've got no plays, so it doesn't matter when I do this. It's going to become a 0-1. We can eat that. Trade with another. Oh, it's a 0. Yeah, 0-1. For some reason, that looked weird. Let's activate the Mutavault so we don't just die. I'd rather keep the land around now, I guess. Trade and then jump. I'm sorry. Why did my block on the Tarmogoyf die? Wait, did it? I don't know, guys. I'm so confused. So I'm just dead now. All right. Let's see. Play this, and it doesn't exile all the graveyards. Anyhow, unable to get there. So how did I block? I feel like I should have had 2 creatures left instead of 1 creature. Well, no, I had 3 creatures. No, 2 of them are going to die. That's right. 2 of them are going to die no matter what. I didn't mess that up. All right, guys. Very, very rough start to this league. Like, we've been putting up a fight, but just ultimately just getting put down. And the matches are just like getting dragged out. Just kind of hoping to play like quick matches with Simic tonight. I think the opponent having that Inquisition right when they needed it, when I could have killed one of their Tarmogoyfs with a Trickster, made a pretty big difference there. I think this is a keep. I could mulligan and try to hit Ether Vial. 4 lands is a bit much. Just have Force, but whatever. I'll mull, I guess. Yeah, it's not much better. Not much better at all, but Waterlogged Grove is going to be a redraw. Opponent's mulliganing to 6. They're going to keep that, and I guess I'm going to keep this because we've got a couple of redraws. We will keep, and we'll put one of the fetches to the bottom, I guess. It's a very weak hand. But turn 1 Ether Vial is very strong. We just have to hope that we draw well, but we haven't been doing that this evening. Prismatic Vista could mean Soul Herder. No, I got my hopes up for no reason. It's Mill, but we do have our 1 anti-Mill tech card in the sideboard. Let's see if it gets us there. For those of you guys unaware, Gaia's Blessing, if it gets milled into your graveyard, then it just shuffles your entire graveyard back into your library, effectively starting the game over against Mill. So this is pretty much their best start. Turn one Crab, turn 2 fetch land, along with probably like a Glimpse the Unthinkable or something. Okay, well that's a good start, I guess. If we're gonna just win with damage here, there's 2 forces in the bin here. Got 2 more in the deck. Something, like a clock with It doesn't matter. A clock with like one counter spell can be enough to beat Mill. They give us access to Island Walk, which is quite nice. There's a force. Okay, so we're in this. Sort of in this. Gonna save the force for a little while. I would just force a Mesmeric Orb, because that card is just gonna get us turn after turn after turn. Also Ensnaring Bridge, obviously. Like, we can't win game 1 through that. Visions is gonna draw them 3 cards. So I think I kind of have to counter that. And then I've got, let's see, the Lords in the graveyard. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. So I could draw more Lords. I like having Silvergill to keep cards in my hand, but the Lord is actually going to definitely push damage. So maybe the Lords are just so important. So I'm just going to pitch the Gill, I guess. If they have Drown in the Lock, oof, that would be a pretty big blowout here, huh? Looks like they don't. Each opponent mills 8 cards. Okay, you got me. 21 cards left in the deck. The opponent is 1 card in hand. Has 1 card in hand. So Lord off the top, maybe a force. Only Lords and forces here. Okay, well, it's a start. It's a 2-turn clock, isn't it? Let's think about this for a second. If I get in for 3 here, it goes to 12. Next turn, I can hit for 10. If I get in for 4, he goes to 11. If he plays a fetch land or something, he just dies, right? So I think we just do this, right? Just go for it. As many points of damage as we can get in. If they have like Crypt Incursion, then whoop-de-doo. Even just having 1 Gaia's Blessing in the sideboard should make us significantly favored in game 2. So if we can steal game 1, it would be kind of awesome. Opponent almost seemingly accidentally passing their turn. 17 cards left in the deck. Got a redraw coming with Waterlogged Grove. Fetches actually take a land out of my deck, which kind of effectively mills something. Opponent passing here. Okay, so why wouldn't the last card in their hand gain them like 8,000 life? That just makes complete sense. There's no way I can counter this, so whatever. I'm not even gonna check. 65, cool. All right, so what is this? It's like a 6-turn clock or something? So opponent just draw basics for a little while. Or more crabs, that would be fun. Just, I don't know what's going on here. Bluffing something. Deck has not been cooperating this evening. I have 18 damage on the board. But it's still a 3-turn clock. What did the opponent draw that they didn't play? Like, because even lands get at me, right, with landfall. So maybe they drew like a Thoughtseize or something, or like a. Okay, killing the Lord. Well, that doesn't mill me, so at least that's something. My clock is now drastically reduced. Blocks. What is this? It's 11, so it has a 3-turn clock. Play a land. Sort of unnecessary. Can't draw enough to make it good. Is this Glimpse, which leaves me with 2. Opponent plays a land, and it's game over. It's game over anyway, I think, right? Like, draw. No, if they draw completely unplayable garbage. Okay. All right, so I'm just done. Opponent was sandbagging a land for whatever reason. Last card in hand, Crypt Incursion to go to 65 life. I don't know. I feel like, not just tonight, but like on my streams in general with Merfolk, like I have not caught many breaks. You guys still with me? Bob, Andy? You watching the miserable matches? All right, let's bring in this anti-mill tech. Let's see it do some work. Relic is pretty good. We're just gonna sort of pack a little bit with Dismember kills the crabs, and they don't really hit our life total, so it's free. Brazen Borrower gets rid of like an ensnaring bridge. I feel like I've brought Ashiok. Oh yeah, Ashiok gets rid of the graveyards, which is significant in some spots. Or gets rid of the opponent's graveyard. I mean, it just sort of packs out the deck a little bit. I feel like this is fine. I don't think Chalice is nearly good enough. I'm going to submit like that, and Gaia's Blessing just can't be in our hand. That's it. I've got 70 cards. The odds are pretty slim. Actually, exactly 1 in 10 if I've got 70 cards, right? Well, Glass Pool enters tapped. We don't have green for these 2 cards. Yeah, I have to mulligan this one. Jesus. Opponent starting with 7. We're gonna mulligan again. Okay, all right. We can play Magic. Turn 1. Then we got this, and then we've got. I mean, Trickster stops like their crabs for a turn. Harbinger's kind of stupid, so we'll keep like this, and we'll bottom. If they're like black blue can't really deal with my Ether Vial, maybe I don't even care about lands and I just want bodies. Like put 2-drop down after 2-drop. But Mutavault is a body as well. So I'll keep the Mutavault, and we'll go like that. We'll say done, and let's watch the opponent mill my Gaia's Blessing. But you don't want them to hit it. Well, anyhow, let's see how it goes. Oh, it's my turn. I was about to like pass the turn. Totally forgot it was my turn. I'm going to play my colored land in the hopes that I draw another colored source. I like to have some faith in the deck. So with 8 crabs now, they're sort of guaranteed to have a crab at the beginning of each game. And even getting them with Mutavault, like it doesn't get through their crab anyway. So let's see. All right, well, kind of a wash there. But Drawing Lords is obviously very good. They played out an island already. When they mill the Gaia's Blessing, it gets you get you the trigger if they have the, what am I thinking of? What is the word or the card? Surgical extraction. If they have surgical extraction in response to the Gaia's blessing, then they get rid of it, but it still shuffles the graveyard back in. Well, that's kind of a good card to draw. Do I attack or do I just play the Lord? If I play the Lord, next turn I'm getting in for 10. If I just attack now, for 3, next turn I'm just getting in for 7. They're missing land drops. I'm gonna play out my stuff. Actually, you know what? Hang on a second. I'm going to tap down one of their crabs, I guess. And get both of the lords onto the battlefield anyway by next turn. Okay, so one crab is tapped down. And yeah. Opponent, wow. They kept the one lander with the double crab. Maybe it's good, I guess. Triple crab? Triple crab. Okay. Well, we want them to hit it late, but it shuffles back into the deck unless they have the yeah, hitting it like the last card in the deck is like the best, I guess, right? So now I'm getting in for 11, I think. What we just need to not draw it is basically the thing, right? So if I just get in, I could attack with the Lord, let them block, flash in the Lord, and just kill one of their crabs. They would still take 8 this turn and die next turn. So that seems maybe like the best way to go. So, I mean, if I just attack for 11 right now, just kind of, it's obviously a 2-turn clock, but it's still a 2-turn clock anyway. So let's attack with the Lord, see if we can get them to block with one of their little crabs. I think it's just obviously more important than 3 more damage. Since, again, it is a 2-turn clock. Okay. So if they take 8 here, they go to 11, and we've got way more than that next turn. Actually got 14 next turn. So yeah, now I can just leave up force if it's critical for some reason. Obviously, I do need to get the Lord onto the table for lethal. Fetch land does 6, right? Whenever a creature card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, you gain 1 life. Yeah, I'm going to say fine to that for now. Okay, they're just missing their land drop, so it's GG. Without a single card in my graveyard, that's pretty embarrassing for them. And they didn't get to see the Gaia's Blessing tech. Yeah. Okay. Okay, well, that was a mulligan to 5. I mean, we just hope that the opponent keeps 1 landers and doesn't draw any lands. All right, guys, so just give me 1 sec and pick things back up. All right, so let's actually read Gaia's Blessing. It's hard to remember all the different text. When Gaia's Blessing is put into your graveyard from your library, shuffle your graveyard into your library. So it doesn't exile itself. So it can just, if they don't have the surgical while this is on the stack, then it just goes back in. It goes back into the deck, which is pretty nasty. All right, so let's see. Obviously, like, mulling to 5 is okay, I guess. I've got to plug my phone in here. Hey, we can play some cards this game. We don't have the Gaia's Blessing, which is awesome. Opponent's starting with 7 again, but as we've seen, they're not necessarily the savviest keeper of opening 7s. So we really, really, really just want to not draw Gaia's Blessing, right? Because then we're just kind of screwed. It's sort of fine. I don't really care about that thing. They're going to get a bunch of life, but more interested in forcing, like, ensnaring bridges. And all right, so Gaia's Blessing going back into the, and it's on the opponent's turn, so I can force if they go for like the nice. All right, well, they gain some life. That's fun. I wonder if that was like the top card on the deck, in which case, like, I would have drawn it next turn. All right, that's another interesting card in the matchup. But for now, we just play our creatures and start punching them. I guess maybe the opponent wants to draw more lands, not cracking their fetch. Oh, cracking it now. Okay, they're going to gain 1 life off of Profane Memento. And do they have a push? Totally fine. And push is like better for us than some crazy mill spell. Although honestly, I don't know. Like, Gaia's Blessing feels pretty good. All right, they're continuing to gain life. Got to remember to vial in my Kumena Speaker. It's not going to be a 2/2 though, unless I draw a 2-drop Merfolk right now. Okay, continuing to gain life. What is this? Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal an instant or sorcery. Put them, yeah, that's fine. I'm not countering that. Just have to read it. What are they revealing? All right, so just more removal. So we'll get our 1/1 on the board. And again, we have to not draw, out of 52 cards, we have to not draw the Gaia's Blessing. So, come on, no Gaia's Blessing. I can copy the speaker, and then I would have 2 2/2s. Opponents, I don't know, thinking very carefully here. Okay, so Lords off the top are always the best here. Okay, excellent. Super excellent. So let's see if your life gain can keep up, amigo. I didn't really think through the fact that they typically cast their mill spells and they play their lands with the crab on their turn. So if they go for surgical, we could potentially hold up Force of Negation to save the Gaia's Blessing. It's a pretty fast clock. Okay, you got it. Gain a life. Still coming at you next turn. No Gaia's Blessings, please. Please, 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 please. Maybe I'm like jinxing it by talking about it all the time. So the orb, I think, is fine because we don't really care about the mill too much, right? Like, normally it would be a pain in the ass, but I have my Gaia's Blessings, singular. But now I don't have protection up. Harbinger is a thing. It's a creature. There's one force in the graveyard, 2 more in the deck. We've got our single borrower in our hand. Actually, getting 3 damage in the air could be useful, but since it's the only one, I think in Snaring Bridge we have to like look out for it. That's like the one card we're really, and this is fine. You got it. We're getting pretty close here, guys. We're gonna vial this in and be able to swing for 11 next turn, unless the opponent has another land right now, and they do. Why wouldn't they? So they've got push. They can hit the Lord. The clock gets slowed down, but I'm not super worried about it. I'm definitely not countering a fatal push. Yeah, I know I've got really good odds of not getting it, but it doesn't make me feel any better given the way that the leaks have been going. Okay, we sort of knew that was coming. We can dismiss all of that stuff. They're going to go back up to 16. Swinging for 6 next turn. Again, pretty unconcerned about the mill plan right now. 1 Lord, 2 Lords, 3 Lords. 5 Lords left in the deck, 5 Island Walk Lords, but it doesn't really matter which Lord. They're not blocking with their dudes. It's 3 creatures right off the top. Nice. Clock just got a lot faster. All right, opponent on 1 card. Drawing up to 2. I've got a force if they have anything extremely meaningful, like an Ensnaring Bridge. Bridge I would probably let resolve and then bounce with the borrower, I guess. Not really drawing lands. Look at my 3 basic islands chilling in the graveyard. So I have like, I think 1 basic island left in the deck. So mill stuff gets to resolve. Okay. I guess they hit my Mutavault now. Which would slow my clock down. So a decent draw for them. Okay, this is all fine. I like that they're doing it on their turn as well. Totally, I don't even have another basic. That's obnoxious. Okay, so we say, do I have any lands left? I got a Sanctum, a Breeding Pool. Yeah, I got some lands left. Let's say okay. So strip mine, and okay, well, we're getting pretty deep without hitting the, okay, what's happening here? Okay, again, I'm not afraid of the mill, so Gaia's Blessing right on top. Dig it. And at this point, we can say F6, right? Because they have no cards in hand. All right, so they're at 17, no cards in hand. They haven't milled one card out of my deck. And now all my lands are back in the deck, right? So that's kind of cool. Profane Memento has been a little bit annoying. I'm going to continue saying no to this. I mean, they need to draw pretty insanely to have any kind of chance here, I guess, right? I'd love to get another blue source just to be able to hold up forces. Okay, you got it, opponent. I'm going to gain a little more life. A Gaia's Blessing again. I can dig it. So Gaia's Blessing, actually pretty good in this matchup. I could take this up to 3, but I just don't think it's worthwhile. I'll draw lands eventually. Or Tricksters. It's kind of cool. And I'm not going to do anything with the Brazen Borrower until they land in Ensnaring Bridge, because that's, you know. Yeah, isn't it hilarious? Strong. It's like you play one of them in your sideboard and you're just set for this matchup. It's just like you can run 4 Extirpates, 4 Surgicals, and hope to just be able to answer the. All right, a Glimpse the Unthinkable. Seems fine, opponent. Bring it. Opponent gains 3 life. Okay, well, they keep going up a little bit, but then they come right back down, right? So we're going to swing for 11 here. Very close. But they're going to potentially gain life off of my mills. Uh-huh. Okay, that's a creature. They're empty-handed, so it doesn't matter if I use Cavern or not. I guess maybe I could represent Spell Pierce or something. All right, opponent. Going downhill, man. Pretty fast. Because they're hoping to draw like Crypt Incursion. I guess I would probably force that, since it would just win me the game. Yeah, we can mill them for sure. Actually, that would be kind of like, I should just stop attacking and just sort of let them do that, just for the lulls. Opponent has not commented yet in the chat about my dedic. Oh, he says good games. Well, that was nice. Like, the one comment was just like an enthusiastic GG exclamation point. I'll say good luck with the rest if they're still around. Show you guys the sportsmanship here. The mill player gets the sportsmanship award for the evening. Good games, even though they were getting completely hosed by my crazy sideboard hate. All right, moving on. Yeah, mill does its thing, right? Gotta respect people who just stick with a deck like that. Nice. Didn't have to look at the individual cards. I just knew immediately that this... What's happening here? It's like Magic is... Okay, locking up for a second. I was saying I don't even have to look at the individual cards. I saw 2 lands, Ether Vial, and a bunch of like pips. It's like, yep, that's a keep. Opponent's mulliganing to 6. If they're on Neo form, something crazy, we've got it covered. Oops, all spells. We will easily win game 1. Opponent's mulliganing to 5. Could be Tron. Could be Tron. I think the clock could be fast enough, particularly with us on the play, to get through Tron. Tron are prolific mulliganers. I know this format way too well. Like, I can tell the deck just by the fact that they're mulliganing. That's like a little bit silly. I don't want to draw more land, so I think it's probably a good idea just to just get an island. You're saying this is a bomb hand against Tron? I guess it's like okay. Play this Harbinger right now. She's kind of hanging out, not doing very much. I mean, it's got lands, Ether Vial, Merfolk, and a counterspell. So yes, it's pretty good, pretty good. But if this Harbinger was if they were lords instead, this would be like obviously actually kind of crazy. But the fact that we have 1 lord means we can present some kind of decent clock. Anybody else other than Contra in the chat? People are staying super quiet tonight. It's like, I don't know, maybe it's not very interesting. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's an excellent hand against like aggressive strategies, right? We just like keep bouncing stuff with Harbinger. All right, second Tron land. I'm playing the Expedition map. Could counter it, but... oh, man. They're going to have to pay to like crack that next turn. So I'm going to let this resolve, guys. I'm going to let it resolve. I need my creatures to win the game. And I can just hold up Hardcast Force. Let's see what I draw. That will determine whether I actually deploy both of my creatures this turn cycle or not. But I can always just leave up Harbinger with the Vial. Just cast the Lord right now. Yeah, I love it. Bob, Andy on the same page. Okay, they're really thinking about how to respond to my Ether Vial. Pretty tricky stuff. Okay, well, it's another body. Pretty good. So now Harbinger's a clean pitch to force if we need to do that. But I have a feeling we won't need to do it. They can't even, like, they can't play, because the third land is in tower, they can't, like, play an O-Stone next turn. So getting for 3 here. Oh, you know what? No, they can. If they have the actual third Tron piece in hand, then they could play in... No, they can play whatever they want if they have the actual Tron piece in hand, obviously. But they're on a mulligan to 5, so... But definitely Tron things, like mulliganing to 5 and having what they need. Playing the land there is a little bit sketch. Like, why not just get your third piece? I guess I don't have anything to play. So, stirrings, sequencing, very strange. But I guess they needed the green. That makes sense. Okay, sequencing, not that strange. So now, we're presenting a 2-turn clock. And we can just leave up Hardcast Force. So there's the Oblivion Stone. As I mentioned, they're unable to cast it. So crack it now, whatever. It's fine with me. They go and get their Urza's power plant. And I will get this Harbinger down. Once again, opponent, I think, just kind of unaware what's happening with Ether Vial. Two-turn clocks, they swing for 8, and then Violin Trickster. Hold up force. They have to tap Tower to cast their thing, and then they'll only have 5 mana left after that, unless they have Thragtusk. Yeah, it's a pretty bad draw. But I don't think it matters too much. Let's see. If they have exactly Thragtusk after I counter this Oblivion Stone, I think we might get wrecked. Oh, but we can tap the Thragtusk, but they're gaining 5 life. Yeah, I think we just get wrecked by Thragtusk. So I guess might as well play the Ether Vial. No. Definitely not. Definitely not. We're leaving up 3 mana to counter the force. Counter the with force. All right. So Tron established. Opponent goes for the thing. I counter the thing, and then we see the main deck Thragtusk on the mulligan to 5. After hitting Tron on like turn 3 or turn 4. All right. Well, no Thragtusk this turn. So they've got what, 4 mana at this point. They can play. Sylvan Scrying is not going to be good enough, my friend. You've already played your land for the turn. His Spatial Contortion could get me. If I draw a Lord, there should be absolutely no way out of this for the opponent. See if they just scoop to this Trickster. I think they would, but... Okay, opponent. I think they scooped. Yeah. All right, so play that okay. Draw a card, draw a card, draw a card. Those are good cards. All right, well, I think we're like, we're 1-2 right now in the league. I bring in Ashiok, even though it's super slow. Brazen Borrower has flash and can like bounce something annoying. Like if they hiccup or just don't totally just have a nut hand, then they can like play an Oblivion Stone full price on turn 3, and then we just Brazen Borrower it. They have to like just like a Time Walk kind of sort of. Maybe like 1 Dismember for Walking Ballistas. I mean, like, so Chalice gets much better on the play. I think the fact that they search a bunch makes Ashiok, like, we just hope that they don't hit the nut hand and they have to mulligan a bunch, and that they're slow and we get Ashiok down and now they can't search for their Tron pieces. So I think here I'm going to trim just the Harbingers probably. They're bodies, but they're like the worst body, I guess. We need our counter spells. Mimic can copy Lords. It seems okay. I mean, the 1 Dismember might be a little bit loose, but Walking Ballista is a menace, so... Also, you can like Trickster a Wormcoil Engine, make it a 1/1, and then dismember it, and it won't get any tokens because it lost its text. Opponent's mulliganing to 6, and we are snap keeping because this is what we're looking for. Island off the top. Make this hand extra good. But we've got 2 draws to get to a land. It's not like... So we'd love to hit some lands. We'd love to hit forces. We'd love for the opponent to continue mulliganing. They're thinking about their 6 right now. They did mulligan from 7 to 6. I just want to point out again that I called that this was Tron just from the fact that they were mulliganing. So, just proud of myself. Skills. Deck knowledge. All right. It's not just... I think the opponent has an upkeep stop for some reason. And that seems to be the case. All right. Really would love to draw land. Because we can get run over here. It's pretty poor for us if we don't draw a land next turn. The opponent might not have a second land in hand, though, which is potentially what they were thinking about so much when they were looking at 6 cards. Because if you have a land, you would have played it already. Huh. It's Contra. I think it's just you and me in here, man. Oh, just slow rolling it. You know, opponent's making sandwiches. All right. Well, it happens. Let's see what he's got. They play Karn and minus it. Could still kill it next turn. Oh, if they minus it on the Ether Vial, game is over. Karn would be terrible for us here. Oh my god. I think we're just dead, guys. I think we missed our opportunity. Oh, well, I guess that Karn does kind of wreck us a little bit. Now we really need to draw lands. Hopefully I said enough reallys there. Get my point across. Oh, wait. Never mind. Okay. Trinisphere, eh? Where are my ceremonious rejections at? Oh, Jesus Christ. Getting trolled by the deck right now. Well, we're not going to scoop yet. Opponent could just have lands in hand. Going to attack Discarn right here. Pow. Now, though, I think they go get liquid metal coating and they start blowing up my lands. Oh, but that gets rid of the Karn, which lets me activate Ether Vial, which is pretty sweet. So maybe they just... Oh, Blast Zone. Why? Opponent's got it all here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, all right. Blast Zone. Nice. Can't counter Blast Zone, huh? Trinisphere beatdowns. Opponent, Okay, all right. Let's play some Magic. Yeah, so just play all my cards that draw cards. Try to draw lands. Trinisphere. Oh, Trinisphere. Need another land. Why? I don't know why they're not getting in with Trinisphere. I can't even cast anything. It's kind of a punt by the opponent not attacking with the Trinisphere. I think I'm locked out of the game though now because they go and they get liquid metal coating and they just blow up my lands. So let's see if the opponent knows that line. It's kind of ridiculous. I drew the Force like exactly 1 turn late. But they do have Tron with 5 cards in hand. And you know what? This is I think I'm gonna scoop, guys. I don't know. Do I scoop? Maybe I draw land and start playing Lords and the opponent can't do anything. I mean, there's only one line to play. You've got me Trinisphere locked. Go get liquid metal coating, play it, and blow up one of my lands, right? Okay, well, let's counter this. I have to pay 3. Never mind. I'm just done. Let's go ahead and concede. It's when you don't play against Trinisphere in Modern, like ever, it's pretty easy to forget that like its effect is on the board. Like, I literally tried to cast a 2-drop on my turn, and then I thought, well, I can't cast Force either. And then I passed to the opponent, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna counter I'm gonna counter that. And then it's like, oh, not really. That's not really gonna happen. So I think the setup is fine. As I said, Chalice is good on the play, so I'll bring him in. Ashiok is also pretty good on the play, but maybe I don't know. What do we take out here? I don't know how significant Brazen Borrower is. I'm gonna cut the Brazen Borrower. If they go and get like Ensnaring Bridge, it could be kind of obnoxious. Maybe I should keep the Borrower in. Maybe I'll trim the 1 Dismember and like we'll just try to actually just beat down here. Treating the glass pools as part of the mana base. Maybe if we're just going beat down, maybe Ashiok is just like, maybe Chalice is better on the play and just like, don't take turn 3 off to cast Ashiok. Just cast like a Speaker and a Lord or something. Okay, sick. So since we didn't draw land last game, it means we're definitely going to draw land right away. I think that's how math works. Opponent thinking. They're in the tank. The tank. Mulligan to 6. Okay, so they've mulliganed all 3 games, but last game they kept on 6 and they completely steamrolled us. Though I did keep the 1 lander, as I'm doing now. Opponent's keeping their 6, ready to go. Land off the top makes this almost unbeatable, but that's sort of asking a lot. It's a lot of die rollings. Die rolling of the dice. Let's see. All right. Even like a Mutavault is fine. I don't even care if it's like Glass Pool, honestly. Like, just give me any land here. Oh, so painful. Oh, I would love to get that down, but next turn we'll get 2 draws with Silvergill. We've got our Force. We're probably not going to counter anything with Force. Although here, maybe I'm going to counter a Scrying if they have it. I'm going to do it, guys. Although I've got Seas. Ugh. I got to counter this, guys. Got to do it. When they kept 6 and they've got the 2 lands, they've used a Chromatic. They don't have more green mana yet, so let's go lands off the top, please. Land. I got a land. So now I think we have to hit one of their Tron lands. It's just kind of what we do. But this Chalice is coming at some point. All right, we played our land already. We can just pass the turn. Okay, we're kind of sort of slowing Tron down. Kind of, sort of. But taking turn... That was turn 3. Taking turn 3 off to play Spreading Seas. We just need to start beating down. Okay, Forest. Do they have like the... There's another Sylvan Scrying. I could respond with Silvergill. If I draw a Force, I don't know that I'd actually play it. But we're going to play Silvergill Adept anyway, so, let's sort of see how it goes. That's interesting. All right. Well, that was timely. That was timely because my Chalice is coming down. That guy would have been locked out forever. All right, so yeah, just I mean, playing the Lord, there's really no reason not to here. All right, so we've got 11 on the board. They're at 17. Although they could have a Dismember to kill the Lord. They're pausing here on my blocks, which is interesting. Okay, so presumably no removal in hand. Oblivion Stone. Okay, and I can bounce that with the Brazen Borrower, which is freaking awesome. And then it's a 2-turn clock. So as long as opponent doesn't just have Tron, like straight up in hand. Do I take this up to have more damage? I think I say no. Island is the redraw. But it's we do want to bounce Oblivion Stone and crack in here, so maximum damage. All right, it's getting to the sort of territory where like a Mutavault and a Brazen Borrower could just finish it off by themselves. So I'm going to bounce this thing and hope it's enough. Brazen Borrower, Singleton in the sideboard. Chalice on the board. Counter all of their redraws, all their chromatic spheres and whatnot, all their maps. All right, that hand really came together there. The Spreading Seas, the Force, the Chalice, the Brazen Borrower in particular, the perfect amount of creatures, the fact that we had the Ether Vial. Opponent in the tank, if they have another Urza's Mine, right, then they have 9 mana. They can easily they can play Oblivion Stone and crack it. Oh, they just scooped it up. We got there, guys. We beat the Tron Menace. Feels good. All right, so I'm in a position where I could actually finish a Merfolk League positively. Yeah, no, I agree. I think beating Tron is definitely makes the night slightly more pleasant. All right, so I'm going to jump right into this 5th league, but in just a sec. I said 5th league, I meant to say 5th game, a 5th match. All right, so 2-2. We have not had an easy round. It's just like a complete grind fest. 3 games, 3 games, 3 games, 3 games. Mill actually felt like so good with that Gaia's Blessing. Ugh, Okay. Well, I'm gonna feel stupid pitching this hand if it is like Neoform or Oops All Spells, but I gotta do it. I mulligan. All right, so much better. Wow, so much better. Opponent starting with 7, unfortunate. We're gonna start with Ether Vial. Obviously have to keep that land. Don't know what we're playing against. There's no companion or anything, so I think I probably just have to put the Trickster on the bottom. I'm sorry, what felt like cheating? The mulligan? Oh, against, yeah, the Gaia's Blessing. Yeah. All right, so Trickster, you gotta go away, unfortunately. Can't put a land to the bottom, even with Ether Vial, when I've only got 2 lands in hand. Burn? Interesting. Nice, okay, I think we can sort of do this. Unless they have the complete nuts. But they didn't open with the Goblin Guide, so just getting a basic island here. So this is, you know, the fact that they have the Searing Blaze makes it pretty nutty. Makes it pretty nutty. Removal and burn in 1 card. Not holding back. 2-turn clock from here. The opponent might have a 2-turn clock as well. Just a lightning bolt on a lord. Another lightning bolt on a lord. Jesus. Weird. Weird. All right, so I mean, the Lord is pretty hot here. The opponent's stuck on 2 lands, which means they have just like crazy gas in hand. Ugh, what a bad draw. What a terrible draw that was. I don't need any lands now, deck. No more lands. I've got plenty of lands. But now the opponent is sort of kind of getting locked under their Eidolon. Oh my god. Perfect time for them to cast another Eidolon. That's ridiculous. Jesus, now they can't cast any spells, and I've got an Ether Vial out. Because they only have 2 lands. I don't know. It's like... Ugh. I'm not even going to attack, guys. I'm just going to wait until I draw like a Trickster or something. Just try to get in for lethal. That was just stupid, I think. I'm not attacking. I mean, they can attack, and I guess I'll have to block. But if they attack, then they're just dead to my attacks. So maybe they attack with 1, but then, I don't know. It's... Maybe they have like 4 Eidolons in hand. But I'm just going to keep flooding out, I guess. Maybe they can't really attack. What is going on? I can't. Is it my? Is it frozen? I think that magic might be frozen, guys. And now it's like freaking out because I'm passing and the clock is running. Hang on a second. I think I have to close. I have to restart magic or something. That was, I don't know. Hopefully it's okay because I hit like I hit pass priority a few times, so hopefully like some stuff didn't happen while I was just like chilling there. Leave it to good old Magic Online to just completely crap the bed in round 5. Unfortunately, it's not like a match that would ever ever go to time. But I'm just hoping I didn't pass through something important because I was clicking OK multiple times, and and it just sort of the priority never went to the opponent. It would think and think and think, and then like it would highlight the opponent's battlefield, but my clock was still running. So your battlefield should be high. I don't. No, that doesn't make sense. It's their turn, so their battlefield would be highlighted. And it was just very, very strange the fact that it was thinking and then it resolved, and my clock was still going. And this is now what? This is just taking not loading anymore. Well, you know, like if Magic Online just conks out like this, I think that's reimbursable. They can blame it on my internet or something. What is happening here? Can you guys log on to Magic Online right now? Is just like the whole system down? I mean, you guys can hear me, right? Like my internet is not busted. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is working fine. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Nobody's answering. Yeah. Okay, so at least you know you guys are hearing me. But can any of you guys log on to Magic Online, or is it? It can't just be me. This is so random. Let me check their Twitter. Well, I don't know. I don't know. This is stupid. So I. So the next thing to check is whether any of you guys can actually log on to Magic Online or if it's just on my end. Because I'm just going. I mean, if the opponent's sitting there waiting, I'm getting close to where I would just time out. So that's the last time I'm going to log in. I'm just going to let it sort of sit here like this. Pretty sure I had that game fairly locked up. The opponent was stuck behind 2 Eidolons. Is it doing this for all of you also? It logged in, and so then what's up with mine? Maybe I just need to restart my system, but I'm in the middle of a stream. But it seems like the only option. But this happened like quite a while ago now, so I think I'm just going to time out if I restart my system. Anyhow, guys, I don't know. Like, I'm just going to time out, I guess. It's like the only time I've never had this happen before, where like I can't log back in and the system is not down. Like I have an excellent internet connection. Well, I'll just screenshot this. Tell them I was streaming, tell them my internet is fine, and I can't see how I wouldn't get reimbursed for this. But that game was getting really interesting, and so it's kind of annoying that I can't play the game. Yeah, I mean they're very good about refunding stuff usually. So all right, so I've got my screenshot all saved, and it just looks like this is how the stream is going to end tonight, guys. I don't really know what else to do. If I restart my system, I have to stop the stream, and there's no real point in starting it up at this point since enough time has elapsed that I'm just going to be out of the game. Contra, are you actually logged in? You can see your decks and everything, or is it like timed out and frozen on the homepage? Yeah, you're logged in. You can move everything around. That's super weird. But I'm just gonna whenever you experience any kind of issues with the like, I've had issues where I'm sideboarding and I'll move 5 cards out of my deck into the sideboard, and the sideboard will say like 21 cards or something instead of 20, and the numbers will get messed up, and then there's no accurate way to tell which cards are actually in and out of the sideboard at that point. And I've screenshotted that, and they say it's a known issue, and if it ever happens, you get your entry fee back for the league. So I mean, I'm sort of fine with that result in this case, since I could have lost to Burn, right? Even though it looked like I was winning that game. I'm playing a variant of Merfolk that does damage itself with its lands. So Burn is, pretty 50-50, I guess, right? Because they can have a nut hand, and we could just draw shock lands, or I think you guys get the point. It could have gone either way. So just getting and if I lost, I would have gotten half my entry back. If I won, I would have gotten my entry back plus a treasure chest. So up a little, down a little. So hopefully it'll just just be a wash, and I'll just get my entry back. Well, again, Contra, thanks for checking your system for me. I really appreciate it. Obviously, there's some problem here. I'm just going to end the stream now. So thanks very much to everybody for joining me. It's Wednesday night tonight? Is that right? No, Monday night. Ugh, I'm so tired. Monday night tonight. So Monday night Merfolk. I'll be back next on Thursday afternoon around 1 o'clock Eastern with Soul Herder. And I've been having pretty good luck with Soul Herder lately. I think the last stream I went 4-1. I know that Contra, I know you like watching Soul Herder, so hopefully I'll see you on Thursday. If any of you guys want to subscribe, that would be awesome. You can subscribe for free if you have Amazon Prime. You just have to link your Amazon account to your Twitch account. If you guys want to hang out just a second, I'm going to see who's online, and if any of you guys want to watch more Magic, I'm going to send you over to somebody else on the Card Hoarder Network. So I don't know any of the people who are live here now. So I'm just going to choose Emma Sky Eward. All right, so let's see. Okay, so say hello for Merfolk Joe, please, and hopefully I'll see some of you guys on Thursday. If not, I'll be back with Merfolk again next Monday. Have a good night, and I'll see you.